is I kind of left everyone hanging at the end of the last video that I did, when I talked about taking a design that was from a fairly cheap guitar, the Epiphone Joe Bass, and doing a custom build based on some of the specs from that instrument. And so I started that. I built the form. I chose the wood for the back, chose some wood for the top. I had not chosen the wood for the sides, however. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit, and then we'll go on, and at some point I'll do another video and we'll talk about some of this other stuff. So the wood that I put aside for the back is some sort of soft maple. I don't know what the specific, variety is of maple, but it's a soft maple. It's quite white compared to some others, and so I needed to pick out some sides, and these are my options right here. So first of all, two of these are nicely quartersawn. Excuse me, vertically sawn. The vertical grain. You can see the grain going right here. Okay. Now, this is a soft maple, but from the color of it, I can see that it is not a typical soft maple. It's actually a big leaf maple. Now, in my mind, I kind of think of this as a black maple now. There's probably a black maple in there somewhere, and this is not it. This is big leaf maple. I think of it as black because it's got a darker color, and it burns really easily. You run it through the sander, and if it's taking too big a cut, it will burn this stuff black. So that's why I think of it as black maple. Nice piece of wood here, deep flame. Okay, could be a problem in bending. The deeper the flame, the more likely you are to pop the flame out when you bend it. But I rejected this piece for a couple of reasons. One is there's a fairly nasty, it's not really a knot up here. Well, it's a knot here. Okay, it goes through this direction and it comes out up over here somewhere, and that's a bad place. Now, you could put that on one end or the other where it's relatively flat, without having to bend that too much, so you might get away with that. But in this case, the whole board is just too short. This is 31 inches and I'm going to need 32.5 inches long. So much as I would love to use this, I'm not going to. One is it's black maple, and it's not the soft maple, the red maple, or whatever that particular variety is, that's very white. Okay, this is a little too dark. Okay, so that comes to another piece, very similar to that other one in that it's very vertically grained, big leaf maple. Now, I should say that I've had this wood for a very long time. The first archtop that I built in the 1970s was out of big leaf maple, and it was kind of fun because the back was quilted as opposed to just, flamed, curly, tiger, whatever you want to call it. And that was a really nice guitar, or a nice red finish on it. It was quite nice. And if I was going to put a dark finish on this, I would seriously consider this piece of wood. It's a really nice piece, beautifully quartersawn. The flame is evident. It's not really strong. Of course, it's not really strong on the back either. Now you say, why am I using these woods? Well, these are woods that I've been carting around for decades. in this case almost 5 decades. And there's no reason to not use them, especially if you're going to color the finish, in which case this would be fine. It's certainly long enough. It's over 32 inches. So if I do a dark finish, that would be the tickle. Now here is a piece of what I'll call a white maple. It's a soft maple. It's cut from a piece that I bought pretty much at the same time that I bought the backwood, and it's from the same variety of tree. It does have some flame on it. I don't know if that's really visible. There's some flame there. And it would be a nice addition. The thing I don't like about this, and the reason I may not use it, is that it's not vertically grained at all. You can see on the side, you can see the nice medullary ray pattern there along with the flame. And you can tell right away from that the grain is going this way. You know, it's not going this way. So, cut wrong. However, a lot of violins have been made with slab sawn wood. So, it's possible. If I decide not to do a colored finish, I could probably go with this. The only issue is going to be, you know, is it going to move when you try to bend it? And, you know, how much am I willing to actually brace this up on the inside to try to keep it from moving around too much? So, I could laminate it, I suppose, but kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm doing here. So anyway, there's my two options, both nicely flamed woods. Actually, it actually shows nicely on the side grain here, and that is not totally quartered on this side as it is on this one. So you know, it's a shallow rift cut. So that's a decision I'm going to have to make, and obviously I'm going to have to resaw it. And so that's the next step here. I may actually resaw all of these and just choose whatever I want. That would be a good day of resawing. And with maple, I shouldn't end up screwing up a bandsaw blade very, very much in that sense. So there's a long-winded discussion, not really discussion, monologue about choosing the sides. So I'll see you again, I hope, and hopefully I'll have a little bit more interesting stuff to talk about. Thank you.